G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel. The other day I've put together the preamp for my Iconoscope tube. Basically, yeah, for the Iconoscope camera, for its head amp you can pretty much use a head amp from a Plumicon tube colour camera made in the 60s, 70s era, and yeah, I looked for a schematic for a Plumicon camera head amp, which I chose an early Philips colour camera from the early 70s era, and I pretty much copied the circuit to the T, or mostly to the T, except for one tuning capacitor which I left out because it's just for streaking, and probably add it in later if necessary. But anyway, I've copied it pretty much to the T, and yeah, I double checked, triple checked it over to make sure that everything was all connected properly. Oh yeah, in order to replicate it right to specs, I had to order from overseas the original transistors. I'm trying to get this camera to focus. So yeah, I'm using BF197 and a BC157, a few BF197s, and a I think it's a BFW11 field effect transistor, which had 4 legs, and yeah, one leg's for the shielding, the rest is gate, drain and source. Anyway, I've powered the circuit up to see if it works. I don't fully know for sure whether it is working or not, but on display I am getting a amplified output of now I'm using 5 volts of division, so I'm getting about, yeah, probably about 12 volts peak to peak signal now. And yeah, I've just put a couple of bare wires there so I can test whether I'm getting any response when I touch my finger across it, as when you put your finger across, when you put your finger on the leads of the oscilloscope, you do get a reaction. So yeah, I should get some noise induced by touching it. And so here I've just plug the camera to the scope. I'm touching the leads right now. I am getting a response, so it is doing something. Anyway, I am uncertain whether the circuit is actually working properly. I'm not sure of this waveform, because I'll have to probably read up on the circuitry of the camera, find out whether I'm meant to get that kind of waveform. But either ways, it hasn't blown up on me, and I am getting a reaction, so I guess that is good news. I'll have to talk to my tech friends and find out a bit more about whether the circuit is working properly or not. But if it's working properly, then that's my head amp completed for my Iconoscope camera. Anyway, let's see if I can locate the schematic diagram that I copied the circuit from. I've got it right here. So this is the circuit diagram for it. So I've pretty much copied every component with the exception of that tuning capacitor for the streaking control. And yeah, as seen there, I've carefully traced my way through. Each component I put in, I mark what I've done in red, and then afterwards I double check and mark in pen to make sure that mark as I go to make sure that every connection is correct. Anyway, But anyway, that's my headamp built, and yeah, I'll find out whether it is working or not, and yeah, hopefully it is, and it's completed, and that's that stage done. So yeah, I am making some progress with my Iconoscope camera. Anyway, yeah, not really much more to say, but yeah, stay tuned for the next video when I make some further progress with this camera project. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel, signing out.